2, 3.
One-handed, boys.
Cheers. I'm staying loyal to Monster. Please sponsor us.
I'm a ghost guy, but had to cheat today.
What's your favorite ghost?
My favorite, honestly, is iced tea lemonade, bro.
What the fuck? That's a thing?
Yes, sir. But they're not too common over here. I only got to try them, I think, like once or two.
That looks fire, actually. What was my favorite one?
I have to go to Vitamin Shop to actually be able to get them.
Is it new?
Yeah, they just came out this year.
That looks bomb.
You only get like 3 most common flavors in any gas station, and if you go to Vitamin Shop, you get the most variety.
Is it like fizzy?
Not sponsored.
Have you tried the blue raspberry one? That was my favorite.
The ghost?
See. That was my favorite.
To be honest, the ghosts are really good. Have you guys tried the Echo?
Ghosts are in? That's crazy.
Have you guys tried the Echo Vision energy drinks?
Not sponsored anymore.
It's booty. I've never tried the energy drinks from Ecovision, but you have plugged me up with some pretty.
Dude, we should try it. We should try it. Just for funsies.
We should have a dedicated podcast drink.
Monster.
Not Monster.
This one's the official one, so that's why I don't want to cheat, bro. This is the one day we will be sponsored by Monster.
One day.
That'll be.
One day. Anyways, Ariel, welcome to the podcast.
What's up?
How are you, man?
I'm doing good.
That's
I'm
good,
excited.
man. That's good, man. Well, we just wanted to basically start off the podcast by asking you to give us a little intro on what you do and what you have in your life, man.
My name is Ariel, and I am a videographer, filmmaker / photographer, and that's pretty much my focus. I have my own startup agency to where I focus pretty much on all of that, every aspect of any creative work, and yeah, that's my thing.
There's a lot of cameras. I don't really know where to look, but
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just gonna look at you guys.
I actually wanted to ask you about for the projects that you've done. What has been your favorite one, and how did that go?
My favorite one so far was actually a complete rebrand of men's grooming products line. So he has Identify, by the way, that's the name of the brand. He has men's hairstyling products. He just started launching his cologne. He has leave-in conditioner. So that's his main focus, men's grooming. And we completely rebranded that brand. So he's had it since like 2018, I think. So I just gave him a whole new logo, new color palette. We redid his whole content, so we had a whole production day in the studio, and that was pretty fun.
That's
That's pretty awesome, man.
That's badass. How long does a complete rebrand like that really take?
Honestly, for me, it was like, I feel like, especially if we would have done it a little more thoroughly like any other creative agency, I feel like it's my first rebrand, so it definitely was. It was time consuming. I think it was like a couple months.
Okay, that's cool.
I'm gonna say it was a matter of like 4 or 5 months that we did all that.
And for context, we've known Ari for I know you know since like 2022.
We've known each other since the womb.
I've known him for.
How did you guys meet?
How did we meet? It was through Editor and.
Yes, we met through another group of friends that turned out to hang out with each other. He was a soccer nerd, so he would hang out with all of that squad. And eventually, I think it was freshman year is when we started talking more. Because we've known each other since middle school, but we didn't really know each other like that. So I think it was until high school too where we actually started talking. And then I met him because he supplied me of some drugs in the gym. So
Great work.
no, I'm just kidding. Yeah, it was pre.
Maybe 3-4 years ago.
Yeah,
That's crazy. It doesn't feel like that.
He was affiliated back then, by the way.
Anyways,
Not gang affiliate, different type of affiliate.
Ecology, get him back.
Please, Ecovision, please call
This
us.
is a cry for help.
And what got you into videography? As you used to cut hair, and that's how
Yes.
how I met you. And then
You were the best barber ever.
That's how
We
I
miss you as a barber.
started.
I miss you, bro.
Yes.
So I did start cutting hair. I was a barber. I went to school. Well, it wasn't barber school, but it was still like to get my license. It was cosmetology school, and I loved it. I loved it ever since I started it. And the real ones know, like when I messed them up or when I would cut up their necks.
Shout out to Edgar.
So yeah, I loved it. But eventually I wanted to take like my photography serious. I don't know, it was just like I would look up to these influencers, these hairstylists and things. I would look at their pictures and I was like, oh, that's really cool. So
I got my first camera. I got my first camera gifted to me. So then I started taking my picture taking more serious. And eventually, I don't know, I kind of liked it.
Do you remember the first video that you saw that you were like, okay, yeah, this is what I want to do? Like the very, very first video that you saw. That kind of made you like,
yes, it was.
It was barber related. And yes, my first inspo was actually seeing, Kevin knows him, Los Cut It. So he's actually a Chicago barber and he's a big influencer in the hairstyling world. So I got a lot of inspo from that because he has a lot of creativity. It's crazy, like the stuff that he comes up with, especially like the content aspect of it. So that's where I was like, okay, let me step up the production game and not just the actual haircut quality, and go try something out. And from there, it kind of shifted to actually getting more into photography, and then from there, it shifted to actually liking videography. So
Yeah,
nice.
that was my complete shift.
I remember we went to Chicago. That was a fun trip.
That was a fun
Yeah.
trip. It was our first trip like ever out.
Yeah.
Was it? Was it both
I
of
think
our
it
first
was.
trip
Yeah,
out of
I
town?
think so.
That
Like,
was such a fun
like an
trip.
actual trip, and man, I remember I had like $50, and I mean,
I was so mad at this.
I made them last like the whole like, trip.
I was so mad at this credit because I was like, how am I over here getting into debt with credit cards and you're making like $30 last the whole 5 days?
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was very.
Was he like saying no to a bunch of the stuff you wanted to do?
No, actually, we were able to make our money like, yeah, I don't know how. We were actually able to make our money.
Spread
around-
$50 then through like a week in Chicago.
Dude, I was like so I wouldn't spend things on like
What did you guys eat?
McDonald's.
We ate McDonald's, Five Guys. Honestly, it was one of those first trips where it's like you don't prepare for it, but it's just
You
fun.
It's fun.
I
You just kind of wing
To
it.
do.
You told me like a week before, right?
Yes, I told him like a week
You just
before.
got tickets and
Which
I told him because
the reason for that trip was actually to go see that guy that I was telling you about, Los Cut It. He's based out in Chicago, so he was hosting like a seminar slash class.
Yeah.
So I saw it a week prior, and I was like, you know what, like, screw it, it's a free event. I'm just gonna buy the ticket and let's go. So I was like, but I don't want to go alone. So I just hit up Kevin and I was like, hey,
you don't want to go to Chicago, and I was like, hell yeah.
I think you told everyone, bro. You
I
pretty much
did.
asked everyone, and then I was.
He was the only one that was down to
I was
go.
like, all right, man. I mean,
And it was not planned. Like we were like, we didn't know what we were gonna do. We just booked the flights and we were like, let's do it. Let's go. And I feel like those are the best trips.
Yeah,
honestly,
Because once we were over there, we literally didn't know what we were gonna do. Like
we had to get an Uber and we were just walking through downtown the whole time.
literally.
to this date, that's.
You guys figure out what to do in downtown.
Dude, the pictures I got from that there's
Dude.
some good pictures.
That was my first trip out of town, and ever since then, I've fallen in love with Chicago. I've been over there already 4 times, so
Would you ever go live there?
I would.
He would.
If I had the finances to be able to afford to live downtown, yeah.
Is that your dream to live there? Or would you prefer to live somewhere else?
I guess I could say in a very good financial state, that would be my
Okay,
dream to
cool.
live over there.
Okay, that's awesome. Because and when you started videography, like you can tell how the quality improved from your first videos to what it is now. Like the other day I saw some of your videos and I was like, oh, this is probably like an ad from a really big company. And then I saw who posted it and it was you, and I was like, that's like the quality improvement is insane.
Thank you.
What do you feel like is like what do you feel like is the biggest step, or when did the quality improve that much?
I feel like the quality improved once I actually started investing more, not in the actual like gear that I use, but more on the learning aspect of how to light your scene, what angles to get, how to position your camera. Because honestly, the first videos I did were with a phone, were with my phone, iPhone
Yeah.
14 Pro Max. So those were my first videos starting off, and those were the videos that a lot of people get praised for. There was a video that I did of a car, an Audi, Kevin's car actually, and that was with my phone.
That whole video was with my phone.
Honestly, I was so impressed when he finished it. I was like, wow.
So it was just mostly, I feel like that's what's elevated my, I guess, creativity and my quality the most, is actually taking the time to invest on using the gear that I have.
Yeah, like on the knowledge part of it.
Yes, and eventually I did get upgrades. Obviously, I feel like once you get an upgrade, it's gonna be for the best. It's gonna be a better upgrade.
Yeah.
So I've eventually gotten upgrades, and when I got my
First video camera, because the camera that I had prior was a Nikon. It was like a 1080p. It wasn't good for video, so I eventually had to upgrade. So my first video was also with Kevin, which was in the gym. It was a gym video, so we did that one.
Yeah.
Which one? I don't remember which one's that one.
I do remember it. You were like doing jump ropes and stuff, and like
I have to see it. I remember recording it, but I don't think I ever saw the finished product.
I saw it. It was a cool video.
Did I never show it to you?
I don't think the finished product. No,
I think
You don't have Instagram.
Yeah, that's true. He's pretty off grid right now. He doesn't really have
I love it. I love being off grid.
Honestly, it has its benefits. I
Yeah.
sometimes
I know for like what you're doing, videography, that like, it's very hard not to be on the.
I think it's impossible not to
Yeah,
have
it's
social
pretty
media
impossible.
videography.
But sometimes I wish I can just be off grid, because it's just like I'll catch myself, instead of using it for good purposes on my aspect, I catch myself doom scrolling and just spending hours just on Instagram. I'm like, damn.
I think it's good that you catch yourself though, because you'll know when to stop.
Oh.
You ever use or I don't know, how do you keep yourself off of that? Ever?
Actually,
Just lately, I'm very physical, so it's like for me, I can't mentally restrict myself from doing something, because it's like I don't have that discipline for myself. So I'm very like physical and hands-on. So I have to do something in order for myself to like actually detach. So it's cool because there's this brand, or I don't know if you guys seen them, Brick.
they're called
I
Brick.
knew you were about to say that. I read it.
So they just randomly hit me up and they were like, hey, we want you to try out this brick. So practically what it is, it's just like a little cube. And I have it here. It's just a little cube, and that's all it is. No buttons, no nothing.
Is that the one that I was asking that I was over here?
No. No, it's another little.
It's like a little cube that you can tap with your phone.
Yeah, you just tap it with your phone, but in the app that it has, you set the restrictions to like block certain apps on your
That's
phone.
cool.
Because when I would use Do Not Disturb, it's like easy for you to just take it off.
Yeah.
Then and there.
But with that one, you can like leave it in, let's say in another room. You block your apps, and then you actually have to lock in until. And it's cool. It was pretty effective because the first time that I tried it, I forgot that I bricked my phone, that I locked it. And I went to the store and I was trying to get on Instagram and it didn't let me. I had to get back.
And actually
Dude,
tap it.
that's
crazy.
something
That's
that
cool.
definitely.
So like things like that for me work way better than me actually putting it mentally to like, okay, I'm gonna put this to the side now, because I'm honestly very undisciplined in that aspect.
Do you use it practically every day?
I've been trying to get more into using it, but like things like that, I love.
Because I know when you're in the creative space, right? Well, one, you have to write a lot of stuff, or if you're like a writer, or if you're doing something else that requires creativity. How do you like overcome well, I don't know if you have these, right? But the blocks where like you wanna, maybe for videography specifically, you're trying to record something, but you just don't know what angle to like record it in, or you don't know what to do with the footage that you took, or how do you overcome that creative block?
I get it very often, But I always try to look like at references at inspos. I either look at other commercials, like big famous commercials from other brands, or I look at movies that I like a lot. I look at the colors that they use and why they use those colors, the angles that they use, why they use those angles. So I kind of try to get inspo from a little bit of a lot of sources so that I can actually put something together. But I have a hard time always like thinking of something or of planning like shoots and things like that. So most of the time it's like run and go. So I just shoot as I go. I don't really think of it too much.
I think we can relate to that.
I saw a TikTok the other day, and this might be helpful to anyone watching this, but it very much talked about how you can't always come up with original ideas, so you need to take inspiration from other things because it's impossible to every day do something original. Because
Exactly.
your brain, it's not going to have original ideas every day.
Yeah. I agree with that because it's like it's very hard to kind of come up with something new every day. And I feel like most of the stuff that we have right now, it's a lot of it's based out of things that have already passed or like a lot of other ideas.
Yeah, because that's kind of one of the biggest struggles I have when I post TikToks or stuff like that. I'm not doing stuff that's original, so I just snatch trends like the lion stuff. The lion does not concern himself with. Kevin's been saying that like 20 times a day.
The lion tries to keep his creative juices flowing.
Exactly. Pause. 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 Not the creative juices, bro. You know what I want to go back to that can be really helpful to everyone. Like
Is
the whole purpose. The whole purpose of the podcast is like getting better. And you touched on something that we touch on a lot, which is investing in your skill, not your tools.
Yes.
And I think that's what I think a lot of other people can do. When it comes to your career and what you're doing, how do you know what is the right type of content to invest in or consume, or how do you pick out what
I want to do?
the courses or the material that you want to learn? How do you pick it out?
I feel like as you go, you eventually start picking like your niche, what you like, what catches your eye. Because I know a lot of filmmakers and videographers that prefer doing, let's go ahead and say, events. There's a big saturated market of wedding and event photographers and videographers here in El Paso. There is very few marketing agencies, which are a completely different niche because they're more strategy rather than actually production. And then there are other markets of, let's go ahead and say, there's people that just like to do cars. They know a lot, but they'd rather just video cars. So I feel like as you go, you eventually pick up your niche, and that's something that I kind of like picked up as I was going. It's like you either, when you're a filmmaker, you either go into like film production, like big movies, big cinema productions, or even if it's not a movie, I feel like I went to more products, like brand products and things like that. And I feel like it kind of applies the same rules as even regular like film, because you have to look at pre-production, you have to look at angles, like all of that. You have to think out a lot of stuff. But when it came to niches like events and quinceañeras, weddings, it wasn't really my cup of tea. And I've tried it before. Like I feel like that's the main thing that you're gonna get when you're first starting something. You're always gonna get that advice of like try everything because you never know what you're gonna like. So I did try everything. I've done a wedding. My first wedding, I literally was there from like 8 a.m. to like 1 a.m.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't do it.
It's tiring. It sounds tiring.
It's tiring, and I feel like it's very like heavy. It's just like, I don't know.
Heavy work.
Because there's people that strive in that, right? That they're so used to like, staying up late that to them it's like second nature. And if they have videography experience or they like doing it, that's just two and two go together, right? And it's perfect for them.
And it's a very niche specific like area, because especially us here in the border,
you have a lot of competition from Juarez that focus a lot on photography and videography. So I'm not saying that we have like a very cheapskate clientele here, but we have a lower paying
clientele here in El Paso, especially for events, because I've charged events like not even a big amount, and it's still like they'd rather go to someone that charges even cheaper.
So the pricing market's very competitive here.
I feel like it is,
I think that's the
especially
thing with
for things like that. It's like it's very
especially because like most people here, it's like kind of cheap compared to like the rest of the U.S. So naturally, everyone just wants that, the most competitive price.
Even if the quality's subpar.
100%. But I was gonna ask you if you could go back 5 years from right now, from today, what would you do differently if you could? Say there was a time machine and you just go back. What would you do differently?
I wouldn't do anything different. I feel like I wouldn't change anything because I feel like it all lined up in the perfect purpose to where it's led me to right now. Even if I wanted to try to like be more successful, like if I could do something to make me more successful right now, I don't feel like I would do it because then I wouldn't have enjoyed it as much as I am right now. And I feel like I'm still learning and I still have a long way to go. So I'm actually excited to keep learning and keep enjoying the process.
Oh yeah. That's
Nice.
cool.
Or let me see. Let me rephrase that. So if you could and go in a time machine, right, and go back 5 years from now, and then that 5 year version of you, you have it right in front of you. What advice would you give them?
I would give the advice to where it's like, I don't know, I feel like there's a time and place for everything. Maybe not pressure myself too much into trying to get something done, or I don't know, having fun, things like that. Like, it's like there's always a time and place to it. There's no rush into actually doing it right now.
Yeah. Okay, that's awesome advice because a lot of people push themselves sometimes to the point of like
Burnout.
hating their career
Yes,
or
burnout.
hating what they do, and it's a big thing. And I think it's pretty important, especially in creative fields, to do it because you like it.
Yeah, I feel like that's one of the things. Especially any entrepreneur is gonna say the same. If you don't enjoy what you do, then you're in the wrong industry because that's a big part of it. Because if you're just doing it for the money, if you're just doing it without the passion, you're gonna eventually get burned out. You're gonna feel like you're working a 9 to 5 on a daily, which technically you are. You are putting in the hours, even if you are an entrepreneur. You have to put in the hours, day and night, to be able to get to that point. But at one point I feel like you have to enjoy that process rather than feeling forced
Yeah.
during the process.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
And if you could give any advice to people that are barely starting videography or they're thinking of going into it, what advice would you give them?
Don't do it for the money. If you hear that you make good money out of it and that's one of the reasons why you want to do it, I wouldn't do it because of that reason. Because I've seen a lot of people, and this goes beyond like videography and photography. I remember there was a lot of barbers or up and coming barbers that would go in it for the money, because you would hear, hey, like you're making $1,000 a week, you're making this and this and that amount. Like, you still have to put in the work at the end of the day. You can't expect to make this amount of money if you're not putting in the work, if you're not investing into this knowledge, if you're not doing all of these. Like, there's a lot of things in between that a lot of people don't see, and they rather see like the tip of the iceberg, and they get into it, and when they see no fruits or they see no progress on the way, they give up right away. So it's like you just wasted your time because you rather choose the bag rather than the actual process.
Okay. That's awesome. That's an awesome piece of advice because a lot of people they won't enjoy the process and people quit easy. People quit really easy. I wanted to ask you, like, for you, what do you feel is the next step to take your business or your agency to the next level?
And
Then
if I can
go for it.
cling into that question, what do you want to be known for in the long term?
So, two part. Okay. So the first part is my next step is to definitely, and within the next couple coming months and year, we're already about to finish the year. That's crazy. My goal is to definitely start getting clients not only here in El Paso, but getting more clients out of town, like let's say Dallas, Chicago. Chicago is one of my biggest targets because there's a lot of like startup clients over there. There's a lot of people that need those type of services that are willing to actually pay top dollar for production rather than just strategy, which is one of the biggest markets here in El Paso. I want to be known for, let's go ahead and say career wise, I want to be known for a good agency that has a reputable name. There's a lot of agencies that I see nowadays that have a really big reputable name that have worked with big name brands, big name artists, and I want to eventually get to that point. Personal wise, I want to be known as someone that didn't give up, that didn't just settle for the 9 to 5, or that just stopped chasing their dreams because you have to look at the realistic side. No, like I feel like if you keep chasing what you want to do, you're eventually going to get there, even if there's more downs than there is ups.
Again, that's awesome because you're one of the few people I know that actually went through with it and started their agency, and is like, you keep pushing through difficult times and you keep pushing through it, and it takes a lot of effort to do that.
And I feel like that's just part of the American dream and part of the entrepreneur side of things, because you guys would understand that, like, you guys know what it is to have to wake up every day and make this and this amount of sales for you guys to make it, and still have your guys' ambitions and things like set for you. But you know it's not going to come to you easy. Like, you guys have to go out and get it.
It's a lot of hard work.
It's the uncertainty, right, that we as entrepreneurs like to go towards because it's what other people aren't doing. So that's a really good, great response that you just did. But I think we're about to end the podcast. Anything else you want to say, Ariel? Mike is yours, man.
The lion is happy to be here.
The lion is happy to have you, bro. The
Lions are happy to have you.
I think this was a really good podcast. I think, yeah, a lot of knowledgeable tips that are gonna help a lot of people. So we appreciate having you here.
Yeah, we'll make some nice clips out of this so that way we can share and everyone. But yeah, if you have any comments or any thoughts or any questions, put us down below. And if you have questions for Ari as well, let us know. And yeah, I guess we'll catch you on the next
Next episode.
Thank you guys.
Bye.
Laters.